What a weekend. I mean, just packed with unbelievable action from the racetrack to the baseball diamond. And, out of all that chaos, all that drama, one single quote just perfectly captured the whole thing. Yep, there it is. It was a hell of a fight. George Russell absolutely nailed it. And he's not kidding. He had just won one of the most unpredictable Formula One season openers we have seen in years.
I mean, just look at this. This was the result that nobody saw coming. A jaw-dropping Mercedes 1-2 finish. You got Russell leading his rookie teammate, Kimi Antonelli, right to the line. And you can bet their rivals over at Ferrari were left just scratching their heads, asking one simple question: what in the world just happened?
All right, so let's really break this down. Because what Mercedes pulled off here, it wasn't just about having the fastest car out there. Not even close. This was a total masterclass in strategy, a massive, high-stakes gamble that paid off in the most spectacular way. Okay, so the start of the race, it was pure fireworks. You had Ferrari's Charles Leclerc just exploding off the line from fourth place to snatch the lead. And that kicked off this absolutely breathtaking wheel-to-wheel dogfight with Russell that went on for lap after grueling lap. So, the big question is, how did they pull it off? Well, while Ferrari was playing checkers, Mercedes was playing chess. Here's the deal. During two different virtual safety car periods, that's basically a chance for a cheap pit stop, Mercedes made a huge call. They pitted both cars for fresh tires. Ferrari, they blinked. They kept their drivers out on the track, betting on track position instead. That decision locked Mercedes into what their own driver called a brave one-stop strategy. They had to somehow nurse these aging tires all the way to the finish. It was a massive, massive risk, and it's exactly what won them the race.
But, every incredible triumph in a sport like this always seems to have a flip side, right? And this race was a perfect, almost brutal example of the heartbreak of F1. Because for the home crowd, their favorite Australian driver, Oscar Piastri, his race was over before it even began. He spun off the track on his way to the grid. Just like that, his day was done. All right, let's switch gears, because the fight wasn't just happening on the asphalt in Melbourne. Oh, no. It was also happening on the hallowed dirt of the baseball diamond, where Team USA was on a mission to defend its world championship title. Look, the goal was simple: win. But the pressure? The pressure was absolutely immense. With the eyes of the entire world on them, Team USA had to go out there and prove they were still the best on the planet. And they came out swinging. Right from the start, they made an absolute statement, a complete 9-1 demolition of Great Britain, and it was punctuated by a massive Kyle Schwarber home run. Talk about a warning shot to the rest of the competition.
But come on, that was just the appetizer, right? The main event, the real test of whether they had what it takes to be champions again, that came against their fierce rivals from Mexico. And in those huge moments, you need your biggest players to step up. You need your captain to lead the way. And boy, did Aaron Judge answer that call. First, he did it with his arm, just a highlight reel laser beam of a throw from the outfield to cut down a runner. It was this moment of pure defensive genius that completely flipped the momentum of the game. And then he did it with his bat. Captain America himself steps up to the plate and just crushes a home run to get the scoring started. That lit a fire under the whole team and sent a powerful message. The champs were here and they were ready to fight.
But you know what? This weekend wasn't just about the heavy favorites flexing their muscles. It was also about those incredible, totally unpredictable moments that make us fall in love with sports in the first place. Yeah, it was about the times when the underdog decides to bite back. Hard. So for this next story, we head to the Indian Wells tennis tournament, and the stage was perfectly set for an upset. On one side of the net, you've got the American star Emma Navarro, the heavy favorite, playing on home soil. And on the other side, the massive underdog, Sane Kartal. And what happened next was, well, it was just unbelievable. Kartal is literally facing match point. She is one single point away from losing the entire thing. But she doesn't just save it. Oh no, she mounts this historic comeback and topples the American favorite in what has to be one of the most stunning upsets we've seen all year. So when you step back and look at it all, from the brilliant strategic chess of Formula One to the raw, unadulterated power of international baseball, all the way to the impossible dream of a tennis underdog, this weekend just delivered. It gave us those moments that truly define why we love watching sports. And that brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. We saw Mercedes' strategic genius, we saw Aaron Judge's clutch captain's performance, and we saw a comeback for the ages from Sonic Hurtal. So, which one of these moments was truly the most legendary? I want to know what you think. Drop your pick in the comments below.